guys, I'm back. But Doc, where did you go? Well, I have very limited free time and making YouTube videos started to feel a little more like work than like fun, so I took a break. But I'm back now and ready to make more content for you guys. Over the past few months, I started to get really into learning about finances. And part of that was that we got a financial advisor and I didn't really understand the things he was telling us. I wanted to make sure that I knew enough on my own so that I knew if we were making the right decisions for us. So I started reading books and listening to podcasts and learning a lot on my own. And that is kind of what led to this video. If you are in the medical profession or you're a med student or planning to go into med school, loans, and lots of them, are the unfortunate reality for a lot of us. When you go into this profession and you have all these loans, obviously you have to figure out a way to some way get rid of them. A very popular route is public service loan forgiveness. I don't know about other medical schools, but in my school, they did not teach us much about loans, finances, anything like that. We had like one session towards the end of med school and they gave us like a little snippet that was not helpful at all. I myself have about $280,000 worth of loans, most of them from med school, a little bit from undergrad, and I am currently trying to do public service loan forgiveness. I'm a little more than halfway there, and I literally cannot wait for the day when those loans get wiped clean. I hope it happens. In case you don't know what public service loan forgiveness is, it's a government program that was set up to provide a way to get your loans forgiven if you're working in certain public service jobs. You have to work for a qualifying employer, and then after you pay 120 on-time payments, your loans are forgiven. Along the way, I've gotten lucky with some things I did by accident, and I definitely made some mistakes. This video is to hopefully help you guys not make the same mistakes I did and make the process a lot smoother for you so you can go on and get those loans forgiven. These are the 5 things I wish I knew earlier about public service loan forgiveness. Number 1, a lot more employers than you expect qualify for public service loan forgiveness. When I first heard about this program from a friend in med school, I thought, yeah, that's cool, but what, am I gonna have to go work in the middle of nowhere or like, have a job in a place where I don't wanna live because I'm trying to get these loans forgiven? So I kind of just kept it in the back of my mind as an option and thought, well, maybe this is something I could do, but probably not. It's crazy the amount of jobs that qualify. My job working in student health for a university qualifies. Heather's job working at an outpatient clinic through a hospital system qualifies. A ton of residencies qualify. I don't know about all of them, and I think it probably depends on the hospital, but our residency qualified, which for people going into medicine, that's anywhere from 3 to 7 years. That being said, there are a ton of employers that don't qualify, but I'm just saying, don't count out trying public service loan forgiveness because you think there's not a ton of jobs that do qualify, because there are a ton. Number 2, you can consolidate your loans within the government at the end of med school. I had no idea what I was doing, so I did not do this, and I wish I did. I have tons of different loans, different interest rates, some of them from undergrad, some of them from med school, some grad plus loans, which the interest rate is higher. And so I have just this whole list when I go on there of all these different loans. What I learned is that I could have consolidated them within the government at the end of med school. And this actually would have allowed me to qualify for certain repayment plans that I don't qualify for now because I have loans prior to a certain date. For one thing, I think it makes it a little easier and simpler to look at because you go on and you don't see a whole list, less loans to look at. And then for someone like me, I could have qualified for a much better repayment plan if I would have known to do that, but I just didn't know. So now at this point, by the time I learned, if I consolidated now, all of the loans that I made towards public service loan forgiveness would not qualify anymore. I would have to restart on the new loans. So I can't do it. I'm stuck where I'm at. But if you have not graduated med school yet, or maybe just recently graduated, something to think about, something to look into. What you don't want to do is refinance with an outside provider, because once you do that, if you refinance through an outside bank to get a lower interest rate, you no longer qualify for public service loan forgiveness. Those loans have to be in the government umbrella. Number 3, please make sure you're in a qualifying repayment plan. So these are the income-based plans. You can find a list of them online. The right one depends on your specific situation. For example, if you're married, how you file your taxes, when you first took out your loans, All of these can make a difference in what repayment plan you need to be in or should be in, or which one is the best for you. Heather and I are actually both in different repayment plans. We're both trying to do public service loan forgiveness, but because I have a loan before a certain date, I can't be in the same one that she's in. Also, it's very lucky that I'm learning about this now, because now that we are married, we marry and file separately, but I had to actually change my repayment plan so that my bill didn't go up crazy. And so really something that you need to look into, learn about, see which payment plan is best for you, and make sure the one that you are in is one that qualifies towards public service loan forgiveness. Because if you're making payments in a not qualifying plan, then they don't count. Number 4, and this one is huge. After you finish med school and you're about to start residency, they give you this 6 months deferment where you don't have to pay on your loans. And essentially, like, people are getting established, you're starting to get your paycheck, you maybe have a little bit of time off before you start residency. And so they give you this deferment period after you graduate med school where you don't have to pay. And in my mind, I was like, heck yes, this is great. I don't want to pay my loans yet, defer for 6 months and then start. If at all possible, do not do that. Do not take the deferment period. I realize that some people have to due to financial situation, but at this point, you're making less than you are ever gonna make in the future. And with these payment plans that are based on your income, your payment is gonna be low on your loans. If you don't take that 6 months now, you're gonna be paying 6 months of payments in the future, 10 years down the road when you're trying to get forgiven, and your payment is gonna be way higher as an attending than that first 6 months out of med school. So if you can, do not take the deferment. Start adding up your payments towards that 120 payments as fast as you can. Make as many payments as possible while you're making as least money as possible, because yeah, it just makes sense. Why wasn't anyone there to tell me this? The 5th and final thing that I wish I knew earlier about public service loan forgiveness is that I should have been doing research on my own and learning about this stuff the entire time, because I would call the loan company and I would ask questions and somebody would tell me something. You could call the next day and talk to somebody else and they could tell you something completely different. It's a confusing process. These people try their best, but they maybe don't always fully understand it either. And so you can get different answers from different people, and it doesn't matter what they tell you. If you do the wrong thing with your loans, it doesn't matter what they told you. If you didn't go through the process right, your loans aren't gonna get forgiven. Do the work, learn about it on your own, do your research. If you don't understand, find somebody who does and have them teach you. There are actually even services you can pay for to really help you go through this if you need help with it. In the end, learning all you can and doing this correctly could save you literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. All right, that's it. Those are my 5 things. I hope it was helpful. If you have any further questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'll try to answer if I can. I am by no means an expert on this, but I just wanted to share with you guys some things that I learned that took me way too long to learn. I wish I knew them sooner. I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you did, please don't forget to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Loans!